Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill, Mr. Speaker, is an attempt, Mr. Speaker, to put in focus the situation regarding criminality and crime in the region, and how we could use a tool, in that case, the CARICOM arrest warrant, to help to combat it, or to help to improve the environment where we'd be able to assist in combating crime, Mr. Speaker. Part of that, Mr. Speaker, was individual governments have to do their thing and strengthen their internal systems, Mr. Speaker, so that strong units will make a strong CARICOM, Mr. Speaker. So St. Lucia decided that we would make the matter of crime prevention one of our focal points. And in this regard, we appointed a minister of crime prevention, Mr. Speaker. But to my amazement, the leader of the opposition, who in his discussion said he knew everything from where bullets were to when bullets came, everything, Mr. Speaker, but he only knew it now. He didn't know it when he was Prime Minister during the time, but he knew it now, Mr. Speaker. Everything. Knows where bullets are. Mr. Speaker, you know why the leader of the opposition has a problem with me? Because I know the history. I want to invite the leader of the opposition, and I know we have a mutual friend who will advise him too. When he's accusing people and calling people to account, he must know his history. I am not in the business of calling people's names in this parliament, or even outside, Mr. Speaker. I want to invite the leader of the opposition to read the Carl Hudson Phillip report, if he ever knew about it. Read the Carl Hudson Phillip report, Mr. Speaker. You will see what is in there, and you will learn something about appointing people to high positions. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask somebody, both of us know. The Carl Hudson Phillip report. Read it. I'm sure the senior minister knows about it. Read it. You see what's in there. So when you go around and you accuse people and you say things about people and you imply these motives, you must be careful, Mr. Speaker. Be careful. Be careful when you assassinate people's characters. Be careful. Here is what I said on the 4th of March when I appointed Jeremiah Norbert as Minister of National Security. And I quote, I don't have to make a document house, I can if you want. The government of St. Lucia seeks to enhance its crime reduction strategies through legislative and other means, including improving the efficiency of the legal and criminal justice system. The government is further attempting to enhance its crime reduction strategies by the appointment of a minister with responsibility for crime prevention, with the objective of working with all parties, including political parties, to prepare a multifaceted, comprehensive, and inclusive national plan to address the growing citizen security challenge. The minister is instructed and expected to work with all responsible partners to develop a comprehensive national plan to address the root cause of criminal activity, particularly murders, gun-related crimes, gang warfare, and rivalry. The intention is to work with and use all existing plans, strategies, documents, and organizations that aim at making our country a more peaceful place. It is not our intention to reinvent the wheel, but to use the best practices available to our situation. The government of St. Lucia believes crime is only reduced when all civil and religious organizations, including the media, are actively involved in crime suppression activities. I have assigned the portfolio of crime prevention to the newly appointed Minister, Honorable Jeremiah Norbert, himself a former youthful, successful law enforcement official who is tasked with leading this ministry and well placed to understand the complexities and challenges that young people in our society face. As Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Honorable Jeremiah Norbert will work closely with me in fighting this scourge of criminality. I will continue to hold the portfolio of national security. And I said, Mr. Speaker, I have full confidence, said a few things before, I have full confidence in Honorable Jeremiah Norbert and the Cabinet of Ministers. Look forward to working with him as we remain focused on the development of our country. The addition to the Cabinet is expected to bring added focus to the importance that government pays to citizen security and improving lives of people in our country. We are determined to reduce the level of gun violence in St. Lucia. The new minister will be expected to focus on all suggestions, ideas, and methods that are aimed at crime prevention and reduction. I pledged to continue to provide the police with resources and equipment while allowing them the operational space to bring this unacceptable situation to an end. I once more call on all St. Lucians to align myself with the necessary objective of making our island a safe place to live and work. The leader of the opposition says he did not know why the minister was appointed, and he was never told why the minister was appointed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the leader of the opposition did a dangerous thing today. In his quest to be sensational, he used the word emotions. And I want him, Mr. Speaker, although sometimes he uses words, and I don't think maybe it's deliberate, he uses the word emotions as far as crime is concerned. Mr. Speaker, you know what? When you add emotions to crime, you know what you're calling for? Revenge, reprisals, defend yourself, hold your ground. That is what, when you add emotions, you know, Mr. Speaker, but in his quest again to call me, he uses these words, doesn't understand what he means, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know what causes many people to commit crime is emotions, uncontrolled emotions, what they call lack of emotional intelligence. That's what causes it. That's a big, because people cannot control their emotions. They can't control their anger because anger mixed with emotions. So when you call for war, when you call for people to go out there and be angry, you are telling people to lose control of their emotions, Mr. Speaker. And that is dangerous. I don't know if he meant that, but that's dangerous. When you speak about emotions and crime, it's a dangerous thing. And I want the leader of the opposition to think back on that. Think back, Mr. Speaker, and recant that. And no, you should not use emotions in this gang business. You shouldn't use emotions in this reprisals business, Mr. Speaker, because you know everything. You know where bullets went, where bullets came from. You should know, Mr. Speaker, you should know that when you use the word emotions, you're using a serious word in the gang culture. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the leader of the opposition said, I call him a white man. I call him a white man. I will not go on a Bible and swear the leader of the opposition called himself a white man. He said, I call him a white man. I. Now, Mr. Speaker, every day they say, I do, and I say. If you allow me, Mr. Speaker, you want me to say who called himself a white man? Can I?
Who I am? Yes, I am a businessman. I wanted white tourists to come down to my hotel. That's what the white man did. That didn't happen by accident. That's what the white man did. I want a St. Lucia that's so appropriate now, where we would not need a visa to come to America. I'm going to repeat myself again. That's what the white man did. We started the St. Lucia Jazz Festival in St. Lucia. We went and got sandals to come to St. Lucia. I wanted white tourists to come down to my hotel. That didn't happen by accident. That's what the white man did.
I call him a white man. I call him a white man. Mr. Speaker, you know, that is why they try to make me appear as if I double speak. But when I say something, they try. When they ask them, Mr. Speaker, they never give the full context. They take piece and piece there, like a big story. I say that I never tell press people to, that's not your business. Big story. I might broke the virgin's back. But not, Mr. Speaker. The leader of the opposition, Mr. Speaker, speaks about his security detail. Now, I would have thought that the leader of the opposition would exercise a little bit of prudence, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the leader of the opposition wants to choose his own security detail. The leader of the opposition was offered security detail. He said no. The leader of the opposition and the former prime minister, according to something that we have at a convention. And I must say, when I was leader of the opposition, they gave me the same convention. And I gave him the same convention too. But in his case, it's double, because he is a prime minister of the opposition. It's a convention which will follow. He was given a security detail and a vehicle. He refused to use the vehicle, that's okay. But the security detail, he wants to choose his own security detail, Mr. Speaker. He wants to choose it. And because he is not allowed to choose it, he blames me.
Member from Miko South.
Mr. Speaker, the member is misleading the House. The detail that I want is the same detail I've had for the last 10 years. 10 years. And the fact is that the member was taken away from me with no proper explanation. And the Prime Minister knows that. We've discussed it.
Remember, how does that address what he just said?
Because it's
what
not I
said,
want my own detail. I want the same detail I've had.
But how does that change that you want who you want to choose? That's all he said.
The manner in which he said it, Mr. Speaker, as if I did not have a security before. I've had the same detail for 10 years. You left him there. It's only when the member from Cast 3 Central said that he should be removed, he was removed. And no explanation. How am I going to now see that there was political interference with my detail? I'm now going to accept new detail under those conditions, Mr. Speaker? No.
Minister of National Security.
Mr. Speaker, you see, how can you win in that situation? Mr. Speaker, security details do not work with it because of who you are. They don't work for who you are. When heads of state come from abroad, the security detail they are given, they don't know him. They are professionals. They are the best in the police force. They don't matter who you are. It's not your friend. It's not your alignment partner. It's your security detail. So once the security detail has been sanctioned, has been trained, Mr. Speaker, you ought to respect him as a professional. I did not know, I was not involved in taking a security detail. I was not involved. I don't mind. I don't know who is, I do not care who is your security detail. No, I don't. But you know, because you judge me after yourself, you believe all what you do, I do. That's the problem with you. Because you know what bullet went here, who went there, because you get involved in all these little things, you think I do the same thing too. I'm above that. I run a country. I don't get involved in this little thing. I don't. You might believe it, but I don't. My security detail is chosen by the head of the special branch and the police commissioner. And I say I don't want him or I don't want her. I don't do it. When I was leader of the opposition, they assigned a security detail to me. When I became prime minister, they took him away. I never complained. I never complained. They took him and put him somewhere else. Because people in the security detail are professionals. They have a certain protocol that they follow for everybody. So I don't understand why you must believe. You are too much, you like to play victim too much. Anybody in a special branch can be anybody's security detail. So again, Mr. Speaker, this is not right. Then he speaks about COVID, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the worst part of COVID was the Delta variant. They were predicting that there will be people dying on the streets and people dying in the corridor of Victoria Hospital at the time. And Mr. Speaker, the leader even says that we did not cooperate with him during COVID. I sat there and I said, we know, and the member for Cashew South can testify, we know some of these provisions are draconian, but because of the state of where we are, we will support, even though we know some of them are draconian. He said we did not cooperate with him during COVID, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he goes back in custody suites. Goes back in there. He goes back in there, Mr. Speaker. The leader of the opposition never admits that he made an error. Never. He's perfect. Never. He justifies all his mistakes with some level of explaining that is normally either not true or inaccurate. So, Mr. Speaker, then he goes and speaks about the Caribbean Court of Justice. And when you try to help him and tell him, it was not the Attorney General who said that there was not a referendum needed, he argues with you. When you tell him he's wrong, he says an opinion is not something you can work on. You cannot work on an opinion. But all courts are made of opinions. That's what the justice system works on, opinions, Mr. Speaker. Let me tell him, on the 27th of March 2013, in the Court of Appeal, that was when the CCJ said, on a request from the Attorney General, that a referendum was not necessary. He says that's not true. Mr. Speaker, impacts. He was never there. He was never there. The leader of the opposition wasn't in public before the elections and he said that they had solved impacts. Yeah. He said they solved it. Only when coming into office to find that never happened. That never happened. Mr. Speaker, but he said he solved it. But again, blame somebody else. Blame somebody else. Not him. He wasn't there. Not him. Mr. Speaker, the reason why the St. Lucian economy did the worst after COVID is because we said so. Not because that's a fact, but we said so, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Then the leader of the opposition, again, in a grandiose idea, is Interpol for CARICOM. Interpol for CARICOM, Mr. Speaker. All the time, not saying to the public that there already is, and you know, in matters of national security, you can't go along the streets and talk about it and so on. There is already a center in Barbados that deals with all these issues, and Impacts is an organization that has in it several vetting bodies, several international bodies that deal with all these issues. But he wants to play smart. He knows something. Interpol for the Caribbean. What's Impacts doing? Mr. Speaker, Impacts is not the investigation, you know. Impacts is the body that carried out the investigation. It's a body that all, St. Lucia, right now, Mr. Speaker, I am the chairman of the RSS. I'm in chairman of the RSS. So the RSS exists together with Impacts, and they are the ones. So Impacts is a body, and what was the name of the vetting thing again? The vetting body for Impacts? The JRCC, which is a vetting body that deals with financial situations, all that already exists, and we contribute to it. St. Lucia is up to date in its contributions to all these organizations. So, Mr. Speaker, these things, he puts them together and pretends as if these are great ideas that he is putting together an Interpol for the Caribbean. Mr. Speaker, what I want to say is that we can deal with that crime situation if we educate and empower, if we confront crime head on, if we work together, if we create safe communities, if we assist risk groups, we can deal with that issue. I will not come to this honorable house and castigate the police on the one hand because I want to get after a police officer. Because you do not fancy a police officer, you castigate him. You say all kinds of things about him. Tell me, which police officer you've ever heard me castigate? Ever. No matter, even when they wanted to arrest me because I knelt on Constitution Park. Even when orders were given to arrest me because I took part in a protest on Constitutional Park for Black Lives Matter, orders were given to arrest me. I've never called that police officer's name. I've never done anything to him, Mr. Speaker, never. And I'm Minister of National Security. So you talk about vengeance, but right here, we a sitting police officer. Every day you come, you attack him. Your members attack the commissioner. Your motive is revenge. That's why you talk about emotions. Revenge. Take revenge on people who you think did you what they were not supposed to do or who helped you to lose government. Take revenge on them, and that's dangerous. And I want to tell the people of St. Lucia, be careful with that revenge motive that is around the opposition. Revenge. Flog people. Flog them. Deal with them. Revenge. This is not the time for revenge. This is the time to try to get this country together. Elections will come. You will lose. So let's continue. Why are you doing that to the country? Why are you trying to burn the house to kill a rat? That's not necessary. You castigate people's characters. You say, and when you finish, you come and you play sanctimonious. You take responsibility for nothing at all. You would do it. The House of Justice. The leader of the says that the House of Justice. The leader of the opposition knows very well the story of the House of Justice. He knows very well. The House of Justice was supposed, when they destroyed the custody suites, they said that they would build a House of Justice on the spot where the custody suites is and the police headquarters where the canteen was, etc., etc. There was a plan that I paid for, $1 million. $1 million. You know, because we haven't gone and given a chronicle of events, and so they fed it. Say that, do this, do that. That's not what we're about. We are about giving everybody who own crown lands for 40 years, making them homeowners. That's what we're about. We're not about going around crying and say, we found this, we found that, we're doing this, we're doing that. What he says is what we're doing. And I'll tell you something. You heard from the Minister of Sports the record of this government. And that is what the people of St. Lucia will understand, the record of this government. Because the leader of the opposition knows very well that they tried to develop this sport for 5 years. They tried to develop it. They went to Miami and they drank champagne and they cut a ribbon and said Royal Caribbean would have built a port for them. Isn't that true? Isn't that true, Mr. Leader of the Opposition? But you were in discussions with GPH. You started discussions with them. The same GPH that has built ports in Bahamas, in Antigua, one of the largest companies in the world in that business. But you come and you castigate them. You castigate them only because they did not get the project, did not come when you were Prime Minister. But if you become Prime Minister, the project will remain. It's not going to go away. It's going to stay. The House of Justice will remain. It's not going to disappear because you are Prime Minister. It will stay. You may enjoy it. You may enjoy the benefits of what we're doing now. You may enjoy it. But you are determined to throw hot water on it, to throw cold water on it, to throw gas, talk about emotions, get people annoyed, emotions, reprisals. That's what emotions are about. Reprisals. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you that the Caribbean Arrest Warrant Treaty, Mr. Speaker, is another step in the right direction. And, Mr. Speaker, the other bill we're going to pass, I hope that all members will agree to pass, is another customs bill, Mr. Speaker. Another bill that will put regional things in context, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, this double speaking and this flashing mirrors that the opposition is trying to bamboozle us, bamboozle Interpol for the Caribbean. Impacts is there, RSS is there, the Fusion Center is there, Interpol for the Caribbean. A grandiose vision. And, Mr. Speaker, and they talk about vision. Mr. Speaker, you know I can have a vision now to get up and go up in the sky. That's a vision.
And behind it is a television.
I can have a vision to do anything. Talk about vision. Vision must be based in reality. Vision must be based on action, Mr. Speaker. Give me one evidence of vision in the years 2016 to 2021 that came to bear fruit. One.
Bananas to France.
Vision. Universal health care. Vision. Give everybody insurance. Not one document in the Ministry of Health about any insurance. Not one document. Not one. But one day you hear they give everybody $100,000 insurance package, I don't want to say $130,000. Not one document. What we're doing now about universal health care, the minister told you prostate tests, pap smears, maternal care. That's what we're doing. But I heard, here's what I talk about, something nobody has ever counted. The UWP achievements, $12 million of hospital debt has been paid. You know, nobody can show me. I challenge. And and you will quote me again. Give me the figures that showed that you paid. That's what you said. You paid $12 million of hospital debt. But say all kind of things. And you'll hear more of that. Dreams. Dreams. Mr. Speaker, I went to the grocery police station. And when I went in there, I apologized to the police for the conditions that they were working in. You were there. I apologized to the police. I said men and women should not be working in these circumstances. At that time, they were pushing them around. Buy a building there. Do this. Do that. That place, I felt sorry for these men and women. But, Mr. Speaker, the sad thing is, when I left government, when we lost government, when the people of St. Lucia changed their minds, in the year 2016, when they changed their minds, NIPRO already had plans to build the Grosley Northern Police Headquarters. This government, for 5 years, not telling me about COVID, because the plans, you also have meetings by Zoom. You also attack me for wearing my mask. You came and you attacked me for wearing mask. Remember that? You could have your meetings by Zoom. You could have all your plans by Zoom. You could have all your architects work by Zoom. And as soon as the pandemic was over, you could start building right away. Like other countries. No, nothing. 5 years. When we came into government, I went to Grocery and I apologized. And I promised the police that I would give them a new headquarters. I promised them. And I'm very pleased to tell our members that all things being equal, the police will have their new northern headquarters before the end of this year. And when you try to live in an alternate reality, try and tell people that didn't happen. No, that's not true. That's not true. That don't exist. They're lying. And when they forget, they say they had plans already. One time it do exist. The next time they had plans already, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you that the member for Castries South can boast. And I know he doesn't use the word boast. Can boast. And on Thursday, we'll make more announcements. More announcements. And you say, the surrogates will say, these plans were there already. They were there already. He can boast that under his guidance, with the help of the private sector, the most tourism investment in this country for decades. And you can see it for yourself. Go and see it for yourself. Go and see it for yourself. But no, they say that don't exist. That's not true. That's not happening. There is no 500 rooms going up at Montpinal. That's not true. Things were never as hard in St. Lucia's before. Planes are coming in empty. A ticket from St. Lucia to Miami, because of demand and supply, is so expensive. But planes are coming in empty. But you can't get a room in a hotel. Trying to papi show shopping and tourism. Trying to papi show it as usual. Trying to papi show, oh, that's a good marketing idea. You come to buy rice and flour. Cheapness, pettiness. Trying to trying to ridicule an idea the same way they ridicule the youth economy. The same thing they did. They ridiculed the youth economy. Now the youth economy is a flagship agency improving the lives of thousands of young people in this country. And I'm very proud of the youth economy agency, Mr. Speaker. I'm very proud of it. But the papi showed it. Remember on the campaign trail, the minister, the member for Cashew South was pushing it. Papi show. No, nonsense. What you must do is build factory shells for young people to go and work. Nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong in that when you misquote me. Cut it and say I said so. That's what they do. Nothing wrong in that. Nothing wrong. And even under that system, we are having great success because in the north of the country, very soon, we are going to have how many young people? We are going to employ more than 500 young people for back office operations in the north of the country very shortly this week. So it's a dual thing. Jobs in the hotels, jobs in the call centers, but self-employment jobs. That's how we do it, Mr. Speaker. And these things are seen. And that is why the unemployment goes on, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is a shortage of skilled labor in this country. And that is why we are doing TVET education to train young people, Mr. Speaker, to work in the jobs that are coming on stream, Mr. Speaker. But again, they want to deny it. Things have never been so bad. That's what they say every Sunday. Things have never been so bad. Mr. Speaker, you think in your hearts of hearts, you can say that this economy in St. Lucia has never been so bad? Now? Think about it. So, Mr. Speaker, we will continue. We'll continue. We'll continue to labor on. We'll continue to do what is good and proper for the people of St. Lucia. We can and will continue to fight crime. And I got a message from somebody, but I will not read the message because I know they're going to misinterpret it. Mr. Speaker, look at that. Look at how these guys call people's names and call for revenge on people. The member for Cashew South said that whilst the brutality is going on in town, somebody was on their phone calling and rejoicing. Right away, he accused somebody. Right away. I mean, this is really sad, you know. Right away, he called somebody's name. Right away. Ou pas bon Dieu. Ou aime garder, mais ou pas garder. Mais il pas garder. Quand on parle about Obiya et Bolom, mais on connaît, on tellement sévère. On connaît tellement bail. On connaît ça, qui monde qui font bail, et qu'on pas même connaître. Pas même connaître. On connaît ça, on monde fait. Et qu'on pas même connaître monde. So he calls somebody's name right away. Right away, he accuses somebody. Right away. You do not know who made the call. You don't know who the call was made for. You do not know the problem with the leader of your opposition. He always believes he knows what is happening in other people's situations. He came this morning and he said about the Labour Party, looking for confusion. The Labour Party, not in no confusion. We are all united. We're not in no confusion. Don't look for confusion among us. In the beginning, you said that Hilaire and me would fight. I'll tell you a big story. Richard Frederick would mash up the government. King would mash up the government. Hilaire and me would be in fight. I wouldn't be able to control Richard Frederick. I don't control nobody. I work with men and women. I don't control them. I'm not a control freak. I believe in consensus and I believe in discipline, not control. Yeah, you can't control Richard Fredericks. Can't control him. Well, I'm to control him for. The man is a big man. Yeah, you understand? That is what they know. So, confusion. So, a whole story about the Labour Party. What you're looking for in the Labour Party, you will not find it. You will not find it. What you are predicting will not happen. And the candidates that we have will never call their leader reckless. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.